Hello and welcome. Hope everyone's doing okay. I am doing good. My month of hecticness is over. I've had something on the last few weekends, or 4 weekends, and the one before last, I went away to Jersey for a long weekend, so I've come back and more revitalised. It came at exactly the perfect point, so yeah, we're all good. I feel a lot better. Hope everyone does too. Also, in other breaking news, I've got a new phone finally. After 3.5 years, I decided to take them up on their upgrade, so I'm trying it with this instead of my actual DSLR camera that I was using before. So we will see how it does and go from there. So yeah, it's been one of them where I've kind of been doing a lot, but it doesn't look or feel like I have, as opposed to the previous month where I wasn't doing a lot, but it looked like I had. So yeah, we go from there. But it's, a good time of year now, most beautiful time of year. All the croziers are coming up for the ferns, and just maybe a week or two of risk of frost, and then I think we'll be out of it. So let's see what I've been doing and what I've been doing. So if we start from over here, I should have tidied it up first. Let's go to the other side. That would probably be a better idea, I reckon. So I finally put all these flowers in and this bit in down here. This bit, I was doing it late last night, so it's a little bit muddy, but it is what it is. So you can see the big climber I've got in there. That's a Tracheospermum jasminoides, which will grow up there, give me some white flowers, evening scented, because this is my evening seating area here, which the wind will push towards us, and it'll also filter out the wind that comes off the top of that garage and whooshes down here and destroys the tree ferns and Cyathea, which we'll get to in a minute. What else did I get down here? So I got a little holly fern, which I hadn't had one before on this, just to see what they do. I quite like them though. My brain's gone. Curtomian, something like that. Fortunii, might get another couple of them. You seem to get them in B&Q, so if they got like a 3 for a tenner, I might get a few and just dab a couple around the place, but we'll soon see what happens. Down here I've got another polystitchin Cyatheas, and this one is called a congestion. I think it's just tightly packed and it won't go as big as the other ones, which will be perfect for that area. It'll sort of give me a good bit of ground cover there. There's ye olde atrata, which you can see is throwing up some lovely new fronds, so I'm happy with that. If I come down here, I'll just show you the theory. You can see how high I've put that trellis as opposed to where it is on the ground. What I'll do for this wall here that's got the cement that did have the things on top, I'm just going to put some more rocks around it, not like that, but just sort of maybe like those sort of ones over there. Just do it across, and then because the trellis is that high up, these ferns should be able to sort of come over the cross and hang over the wall. Again, not looking great because all the rubbish is in there. The thing I did have to do was not move this gate, but those hinges was on the fence post originally, and where I put this fence posted, I could only get it in a certain point because of the roots of that tree, and of course that turned out to be that if it was touching one of the fence posts it wouldn't reach the other end, so it was only a little bit off as well, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, in the end I've just done that, strapped those 2 bits of wood of it, and the theory for that is that if I'm going to have a bit of wood coming from the top of that fence post across the top of this one, when it gets to there, which is a lot lower than that, the one that's nearest us, I can cut it and set it on top of that, and then leave that other one, go the further one away, going up as high as whatever the trellis is going to go. And it means that if I put a roof on this seating area here going back towards the fence, I can put a gutter on the back of it and run it all the way across to the fence and put it into the hopper there. So yeah, so that's quite good. You can see we did have a bit of a frost last night, 0 degrees, hasn't been like that for a while. So yeah, so anyway, if we carry on walking around, 2 Jurassic Golds, chopped off all the fronds on there. These are all starting to come up now, so I look forward to that. If we get over here, as I stated a minute ago, you can see I've put the Cyathea in there, the big Cyathea couperii, or the big, for me, Cyathea couperii. I've been going on about getting 4 of them. I've got 3 of them, a big Australis and a small Australis, and then a big couperii and a smaller couperia. I haven't got the bigger trellis yet, but I was going to put this one over in that corner in the bed that I purposely effectively built for it. But when I put it in there, because I cut off the bottom fronds, you can just see the 2 fronds there that I've left on it. It was a bit kind of stalky for that. It didn't fill the ground out. I need like the fronds to sort of come over the top of the wall and go down a bit. So yeah, I couldn't get it in there. The only other way, so I didn't want to put it in there because of that. I was thinking about putting it where that fence post is, in and around there, because that's actually dropped down, so it would have looked quite good in there and come up over the wall. But I just thought I'm going to be walking in there doing trellis and all that stuff, which we'll get to in a minute, for the giant honeysuckle, which is going to go against where that coil is pretty much at the bottom. I thought if I'm going to be walking in and out of there and all that sort of thing, I don't want to put it in now. So with me being as I am, I decided instead of just keeping it, you know, to the side and waiting a couple of weeks, I just thought I'm going to put it in somewhere. And I decided here, the only other place really was down here between those 2 ferns, because they're going to grow over and sort of cover the crown. But I think I'm going to put the bigger trellis in there, once I take that irrigation out, put the bigger trellis in there. And then what that'll mean is, because it's full shade there, it'll already have big leaves to sort of maximise what little light it does get, if that sort of makes any sense, as opposed to put a small one in there which will take ages to grow because it's not getting any sun. So that's the theory anyway. We'll see if it works out. You can see I didn't check the weather report yesterday when I was doing all this. I didn't realise we had a frost on our way until late last night, so I quickly gathered up a mountain of leaves, put it on top, and then just the bamboo that I've thinned out over in that corner, I just laid on top just to stop the wind getting on it. But this will be good. In a couple of days time I'll take the bamboo off and then just kick all the leaves out over everything. Other than that, there's not really too much going on over here. I bought a new drop, so it's Lepipodoba, which is down there, just because that's where he is. And then the royal ferns, there's a royal fern there on the left, which you can just see a crozier, which I've moved over there, and then a lady fern there, which I think is probably dead, but we'll see what happens. So other than that, just topped up the leaves just for now. That's going to sit in there. Hopefully that's all okay now. I haven't checked it, so we shall soon find out. Other than that, generally what I've done is gone around all the beds, give them a good weed in, as I was mixing in manure pellets and bone meal, and then dug it all up as I was going around doing that. And then I've just dropped an inch of manure on top of it all just for now, just because I ran out. I would have liked to have done more. But here's the old Dragley polystitchum polyblepharum. You can see why they call it the tassel fern. If you look at the one that's at 6 o'clock, you can see they've got a bit of hairiness to them, and they do little kick-offs at the end of the fronds, which is quite nice. So, but this is a deciduous fern, so this one for me looks good now through for another month or 2. I mean, it looks good after that as well, but that's when it sort of pops out, if you like. So yeah, hopefully that one will bring out a few more croziers, which it is doing. Other than that, the other couperia, the small couperia, is in there. You can just see these fronds that are coming out. This is actually a proper frond. I ran out of leaves on that one, so I just covered it in bamboo and a couple of old fronds that I chopped off, just to be safe. I think it probably would have been okay here, but you never know. So yeah, this other thing that is growing here, I don't know what it is. I fancy it's an ostrich feather fern, but I'm going to let it grow and then I'll move it and put a kind of Cyatheas, as I'm going to call them, type fern in there, and then that'll give a bit of protection to the couperia and the Scheffler if it needs it, which hopefully it won't after this year. The little spicant that was over in the corner where that trellis was, he's down there. I just moved in there just for now, just to keep him out of trouble. Other than that, what have we got going around here? So I'm a bit worried about this Woodwardia radicans. It's not doing a lot. Again, I'll just leave it a month or 2, see what happens with it. Scheffler rhodendifloria is going okay. This is all okay. Again, Lophosauria, I chopped all the old fronds off and then I've just laid them over the top of it with a few leaves, just to, because it is sending up new fronds, but I just don't want the new growth getting nicked by some frost. You can see the Tetrapanax is going well, is in full sun, is nicely watered, so I've got some fairly high hopes for this because he's had a hell of a life, this one. Started off, I got it was actually a little bit bigger than that, the leaves were, when I got it. Put it straight in the ground, over watered it, and it didn't want to do anything, and it all died off. Managed to just about stopped irrigating it then, and then it was that 38-degree weather which was burning all the new fronds, so I was coming back every day sort of at lunch and covering it up with a table and then taking it off later on in the day, and then I just chucked loads of leaves and chippings and all that, bark chippings all over him for winter, just literally just straight on top of it, nothing too worried, and now he's started growing, so I'm happy with that. Other than that, not too much going on around there. Over here, this is the sword fern. I really want this one to do well, but I don't know if it is, so we'll just leave that one for a while, see what happens here. I need to chop off that banana thing there. You've probably seen this one on the picture I put out the other day where it sort of basically put a sausage out. You can see it's all mush. I just want to wait for that to push out whatever that is, because if you look down there, there is a bit of green. So I want it to push out at 2 or 3 inches, then I'll probably chop it down here or something, maybe give it an inch off. Same with all these little pups. Other than that, yeah, this is the other Atrata. Can you see how these fronds are unfurling? They're quite gnarly in their own way. So again, just shoved a bit of I just got a bit spooked by the frost, so I've just put that over it for now. That's not really doing a lot, but it might do something. And then over here you can see I've put some coping stones in as a way to get up there, so yeah, that's good. I'm going to worry about all the transitions of how this, which is 2 foot higher than down there, is all going to sort of run in when I clear all this stuff up. So here, like I said, got the giant honeysuckle that's going to go in here. Oh yeah, one thing I did want to ask actually, if anybody knows, this canna down here, which is starting to sprout up new stuff, you can probably just see it down underneath all of that. Am I good just to take a spade and hack off sort of, you know, the last third of that, and that'll work? Because I might put it somewhere else, and it's quite a beast, that, so it can spare it. But yeah, so if anybody knows if that's viable or whether I have to dig it all up and all that, in which case I'll probably wait until next year. This banana's doing all right. He's going all right. That one will push that frond out of that dead leaf out soon, I hope. And then yeah, over here, so giant honeysuckle's going to go in here probably, well, I'll get him out of his little hidey hole probably in the next 3 or 4 days, and then he'll have a week or 2 over there somewhere just getting used to the outside. Then I'm going to put him in, so I need to prepare the soil for that. They don't like it very rich, which is a bit annoying because that's probably 80% manure in there, so I'm going to have to put some grit in and probably some of just my natural soil like this stuff down here, just chuck that in there. And then with regard to the trellising, I have had a few thoughts on this, and I think what I'm going to do is do some wires going up the mid-level, and then just put a small bit of trellis running all the way across the top, and then that means I can just put a small bit of trellis all the way across the top. Pretty standard stuff, because it's quite expensive, that trellis. I didn't realise how much it was, so yeah, we want to go cheap on that because no one's ever going to see it, because it's all going to be hidden behind stuff. So yeah, and then finally down here, bought another new fern as well, which is this, I don't even know what it is. This is Ethereum, so I think it's a, oh, there you go. So yeah, I don't know anything about that one. It looks like a painted fern to me, which means it's probably going to be deciduous, but we'll soon find out. Over here, yeah, just thinned out the bamboo, and then when I get more spears like this coming up, I'll chop the other ones off, and then hopefully they'll all go straight, because you can see they're all bending out towards us, which I don't want. Down here I put the small Australis in here, hoping that I've obviously covered it up, but I'm thinking that that'll get bushy and overlap and then get big, if you see what I mean. So that could work out quite well there. So I'm happy with that. Other than that, the only other thing I'm going to do, this Saxifraga solenifera is going absolutely mental, and it's overgrown this. So what I'm going to do is leave this little offshoot one in there to colonise. And then I'm going to move that one back over there, probably just to the left of that fence post as we're looking at it, and then just let it do its thing over there, and that should sort of colonise over there. And then I can take other bits of it as and when and just dab it around, and that seems like a good little one to fill up. And for my money is absolutely bulletproof, because it was over there, got decapitated by a cat. Like literally the cat swiped off the whole of it, left the root ball in there, so I just shoved it in there what I could, and it regrew. And I didn't protect it over winter, and it was out in a sort of, you know, when that was a bit the small flower bed, it was all open to the elements, heavy freezing, didn't cover it at all, and it survived that. So I was under the impression that was a house plant, but yeah, if you see it, Saxifraga stolonifera, pretty good, pretty robust. So yeah, other than that, moving onwards, my major goals now is really clean up that area there, because it's got where all my plumbing's going to come out of that garage over there. You can just see at the back all the pipes sticking out, and I want to do my next thing is to get the irrigation and the heating running. However I'm going to do that, get that all done, bring an outside tap out here so I can get rid of that one over there, and electrics as well, like lights and stuff like that. So just figure out all that. That's one of my things that I'm mulling over. Next one again is the Lophosauria. Like I said, I'm going to prepare the ground for it, not the Lophosauria, the Lonicera hildebrandiana giant honeysuckle. Pretty much going to go where the shadow of that fence post is, run it up on wires up to in and around the top of that shadow, actually maybe a little bit lower, and then that sort of top quarter, put some trellis all the way across that overhangs up a little bit, just to make it look nice, and then I can run it round. Then I need to work on this pergola and just get the structural bit of it in, if you know what I mean. I'm not worried about the bits coming across from the house across yet, but just maybe get the roofing area bits done, which means that I need to do these bits, which again is a lot of wood. So every time I do something in this garden, that waterfall that's going at the back where the barbecue is with the rocks and everything gets further away, but I need to do it, you know, as and when, maybe finish off the wood behind there as well. So you're probably looking at 100 quid's worth of wood there straight away. So yeah, put the waterfall back, another one. But yeah, other than that, it's been doing well. It's a glorious day today, as you can well see. Cyathea is going to look lovely, and yeah, another reason why I put it there is because it's got quite a bit of space there between like the fence and it overlapping, because the trouble is, like, if I put it down effectively where that fence post is, that the irrigation is running up over there in the centre, this is the kids' play area that when him and his mates or his family or, you know, cousins are around, they run around it like lunatics. If that put a frond out at the level it is now, it will get torn off, whereas if I get a slightly bigger one that's a bit higher, it will sort of won't get torn off. That's the theory anyway, but we'll see how that goes. Again, that's another 100, well, probably about 150 quid for one of them. So yeah, money. Yeah, so other than that, tidy up this area, get that all set for the giant honeysuckle over on that fence, and then have a little bit of a, yeah, see where we go after that. Oh yeah, the other thing I should note is I took the Insetti inside, I repotted it. You can see I freed up the pot to mirror that one there. He's there. When I've washed him up, I'll put him on there, and then I'll get 2 little climbers for there, just as a little experiment, just to see how it looks. The other thing, I hunted out all the pockets, which I'm going to mock up that, see what I can do with that with regard to a sort of vertical garden on that. Yeah, plenty to be getting on with. Hopefully these bananas will sort themselves out, and everything will come back to life. So my biggest worries actually is the Dixonia behind the Cyathea over there, that banana there in the centre. Other than that, I think I might have got away with it. Maybe a few of the deciduous ferns are dead, but yeah, we go from there. Okay, right, well, hope you're enjoying this glorious day. I better get back to work. See you in a bit.